Back in the early 2000s, the internet was still new, clunky, and full of promise. My name is Adam. I was just another student at my local junior college, balancing classes, working in the administration office, and living with my girlfriend, Lucy. One night, Lucy invited a classmate over for game night, a girl named Sarah. To my surprise, I actually knew her from high school. We weren't close, but we clicked right away. Soon, she became a regular at dinners, movies, and late-night Mario Kart battles. But sometimes, Sarah brought her boyfriend, Jay. And Jay didn't fit. At all. He'd sit in the corner, arms crossed, silent or sullen. He gave off this heavy, uncomfortable energy, like he hated even being there. No one liked him, but out of politeness, we let him tag along. I wish we hadn't. One night, the phone rang. Sarah was crying, sobbing, and begged if she could come over. When she showed up, her face was red, her voice shaky. Through tears, she told us the truth. Jay was furious that she spent time at our place. He accused her of cheating. He screamed, insulted her, called her names so while it made my fists clench. And then he shoved her, hard. She stumbled, crashed into a coffee table, and hit the floor. The bruise was massive. She showed Lucy later, and Lucy described it to me. It covered her lower back and hip. Sarah insisted it was an accident, that he'd never done it before. But all I saw was a dangerous man who thought intimidation was love. My chest burned. My jaw locked so tight I could hear my teeth creak. I wanted to knock his teeth in. But I'm not a fighter. I'd never thrown a punch in my life. And yet, I wasn't about to let this slide. That's when the plan began to form. See, I wasn't just a student. I worked in the college administration office, which meant I had access to everything. Class schedules, student IDs, enrollment records. And as fate would have it, the deadline to drop or add classes, without penalty, was just days away. I remember staring at Jay's name on the screen. My pulse quickened. My palms went clammy. But the thought of Sarah's tear-streaked face hardened my resolve. If he wanted to hurt people, fine. I'd hurt him, but I'd do it smart. On the very last day to change schedules, I picked up the enrollment phone. Internet registration didn't exist yet. You had to call. I punched in Jay's student ID. One by one, I dropped every single class he was enrolled in, wiped his schedule clean. But I wasn't done. Oh no, I re-added him into as many random courses with extra fees as I could find. Lab fees, material fees, anything that would stack debt onto his account. And here's the kicker. Jay was a foreign student. If he didn't stay enrolled in enough units, his visa status was in jeopardy. I hung up the phone, my heart racing, equal parts terrified and exhilarated. Had I gone too far? Maybe. But then I pictured Sarah crying again. And I knew this was justice. The next week, Sarah came home grinning. She told us about English class. Jay showed up as usual, trying to sit down like nothing was wrong. But there weren't enough seats. Another student, someone from the wait list, was already there. The professor frowned, checked the roster, and called roll. And guess whose name wasn't on the list? That's right, Jay. He tried to argue, waving his arms, insisting there had been a mistake. But the teacher had the official record. His name wasn't there, and there was nothing he could do. Sarah told me she never saw him in that class again. Weeks later, I checked his file one last time. Every fee-heavy class I'd saddled him with was gone, but so was everything else. No schedule, no credits, no enrollment. Maybe he was kicked out. Maybe he just gave up. I'll never know. But one thing was certain. His time at that school, and maybe in the country, was over. That night replayed in my head for months. Sarah in tears, bruised and broken, and Jay standing there smug, like he'd done nothing wrong. But thanks to one phone call, his arrogance was crushed, his academic career derailed, his control over Sarah gone. Justice wasn't served with fists. It was served with a keyboard, a phone, and perfect timing. Sometimes I wonder if I went too far. But then I remember, he shoved her. He made her cry. And if the worst thing that happened to him was losing his classes, he got off easy. Mess with me all you want. But mess with my friends? I'll find a way to make you regret it. If this revenge gave you chills, smash that like button right now. Tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying act of karma you've ever seen? And don't forget to subscribe because more stories of payback and justice are coming your way.